Good afternoon. Thank you for watching our live briefing for Friday, May 29th. Today, I'll be providing a quick update on the COVID-19 situation, and then Sherry Grady will explain the dry cleaning process that's starting next week. Then we're really pleased to invite your resident association president, Pat Kwana, up, and she has a few words for you today. Following Pat, Beth Travis, our director of rehab, will share with you the plans for restarting outpatient rehabilitation. Then we have our Fun Friday segment, that's hard to say, featuring Anita Atkins. And last but not least, David Curtis has our pastoral care segment for today. In terms of the COVID situation in Virginia, a little over 296,000 tests have been performed so far. We have 42,533 cases. That's an increase of about 1,130 since yesterday. The positivity rate for the Commonwealth of Virginia is at 13.4, and it's trending down. That's a good thing. However, Henrico is at 15.5% and trending up over the past week, 8 days. I guess it's, 8 to 10 days it's been trending up now. And Richmond is at 25.2%, also trending up, and has been trending up for the better part of a month now. That is not a great message relative to the data of how many people are testing positive. Hospitalizations, to date, more than 4,500 people have been hospitalized. Currently, a little more than 1,500. 373 are in ICU, and 193 are requiring ventilator support. We've had 1,358 people pass away. That's an increase of 20 from yesterday. And 5,648 people have recovered. That's an increase of 176 from yesterday. A little bit about the COVID-19 situation here on campus. A couple of weeks ago, I shared with you that we had 4 dining staff members who are all part of the same family test positive. And they were tested, and then they were quarantined. And I'm very pleased to say that all 4 of them now have tested negative twice, and either have already come back to work or will be coming back to work in the next few days. Also, the pavilion employee who tested positive a few weeks ago, 3 or 4 weeks ago now, has also tested negative twice and has returned to work. Lastly, as it relates to staff, the housekeeper who I told you about last week who had tested positive, an update on her. Today we learned that her condition has declined and that she has actually been hospitalized. So I want you to please keep her and her family in your prayers. Lastly, an update on the Parsons Health Center baseline testing of all the residents. Today we finalized, or will be finalizing, testing on all the residents. And I should be able to share the results for the whole of Parsons Health Center with you on Monday. We certainly don't expect to get any positive cases, but it'll be good news to share with you on Monday, hopefully. That's all I have for you today. I hope you all have a nice weekend. Next up is Sherry Grady.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. It's so good to be back up here. I haven't been able to be up here and speak to you all for quite a while. I haven't really had a whole lot to update you on. Today I'm going to update you on the dry cleaning process that will start on Tuesday next week. Both Puritan and Handcraft cleaners come on Tuesdays and Fridays, and they both have some specific instructions for going forward. Puritan cleaners restarts their door-to-door services on Tuesday, June the 2nd, for Tuesdays and Fridays. If you're using Puritan, you must make sure that they have your cell phone number on file, because you will receive a text on Monday and Thursday evening that Puritan will pick up the next day. And if you do have dry cleaning for pickup, you must respond to that text by texting back yes. And if you don't do anything at all, then they assume that that is a no. If you do not have a cell phone, then you will need to call Puritan Cleaners. You can call the driver at 441-5028, or you can call the home delivery office at 729-3715. So you must either respond to the text or call Puritan to ensure that they will come and pick up your dry cleaning. They are asking that your dry cleaning bag be outside your door by 9 a.m. on both Tuesday and Friday. If you are not currently using Puritan but would like to, you can pick up a brochure at one of the lobby desks. For handcraft cleaners, they will also restart here on campus on Tuesday, June 2nd. Dry cleaning services are also scheduled on Tuesdays and Fridays. They will be collecting all of their clients here on campus. So moving forward, handcraft must be notified when you plan to have something ready for pickup. They will come on, your days of service will be Tuesday and Friday between 9 and 10 a.m. You'll have to have your belongings outside of your front door by 8:30 in the morning, and you must call, text, or email Pam Anderson. Her telephone number is 201-7817, or you can email her at pamanderson@handcraftservices.com. If they don't answer, please leave a message with your name and indicate that you are a resident of Westminster Canterbury. This was very confusing, I know, and I said a lot in a very short period of time. All of this will be played on TV 971 and will also be in next week's Tales. Thank you so much. I know you've been looking forward to this. Have a wonderful afternoon. And next up is Pat Kawana.
Good afternoon. I'm so pleased to be speaking to you today. John has been keeping us informed daily about Westminster Canterbury's restarting and re-engaging the phases opening up our community to the larger neighborhood. Today, I want to let you know that our Westminster Canterbury Resident Association is also restarting and re-engaging. The year of 2020 has sure been a slow start for us. On February 11th, we held the annual association meeting, and the new executive committee members were elected. We had our first resident board meeting on March 10th. At that board meeting, John Burns, our CEO, announced the formation of Westminster Canterbury's COVID-19 task force to plan and execute procedures critically necessary for the protection of all residents from this extremely viral illness. Little did we know that on March 16th, we would have our first COVID-19 case. This required all residents to be quarantined. We know the rest of the story. The new resident executive committee includes me as president, Bob Kluel, the first vice president, Jan Orgain, second vice president, Nancy Scoggins, the chair of the floor representatives, Joan Murphy, member at large, Bob Coles, past president, Patricia Plaisted, secretary, and Bessie Taliaferro as assistant secretary. The Resident Association is like a bridge between the residents and the administration. The purposes of the administration are to assist residents in all ways that will help Westminster Canterbury become a home to them. Our association activities during this confinement have focused on several ways to be helpful and supportive to all residents during these restrictions and isolation. We could not meet as a group, but individually we continued to listen to our fellow residents' concerns, suggestions, and report these to administration. We also helped interpret the guidelines as they were announced. Many residents wanted so much to be helpful. Nancy Scoggin and her floor representatives were able to assist administration by personally delivering memos, tales, menus, and recreation spirit lifters to residents on their floors. This was a way our floor reps could keep connecting with each resident. Celebrating and finding ways of appreciating our dedicated employees has been the most fun during these days of confinement. We could not have managed without the excellent leadership and expertise of John and the WCR COVID-19 Task Force. We are so fortunate to be residents of Westminster Canterbury Richmond. No other retirement community with 90 residents has only 2 cases of coronavirus who have recovered and returned to their apartments. We are nationally recognized for the planning and execution of safety practices to prevent further cases of COVID-19. And it is an honor to know that John Burns, our CEO, was appointed to Governor Northam's state COVID-19 task force. Westminster Canterbury has been a role model for our national and state associations for retirement and healthcare communities. We are also grateful to Deborah Jacobson, Administrator of Resident Services, and our go-to association person for all our needs. We're also grateful to the staff, executive committee, all managers, and employees. We're also grateful for the live updates, all communications, and all essential services, too numerous to mention. All of these have been provided by our cheerful and compassionate employees. On behalf of all residents, we have supported the safety measures that were and continue to be implemented. We also look forward to each new phase of getting us closer to be able to leave campus. When that happens, it will be everyone's individual responsibility to keep ourselves safe. We know we will continue to be wearing masks and keeping social distancing here at Westminster Canterbury. When we are out in the community, we are on our own. I believe we all agree, don't bring coronavirus back home with you. Thanks for listening, and I look forward to speaking to you again. Next will be Beth.
Good afternoon. On Monday, June 1st, you all have already heard that the rehab department will start offering services again for independent living and assisted living residents in our gym. I wanted to talk a little bit today about the differences you will see with coming down for your appointments than you saw prior. One thing that will not change is therapy has always been by appointment only, so you will need an appointment. We call and schedule those with you. And you will also need a current doctor's order for you to receive therapy services. I do know I've heard from some of you that you had orders prior to the gym being closed down. However, those would no longer be current. If you call us at 5397, we can talk to you a little bit more about how to get current orders. Many of the doctor's offices will fax them directly to us. We have a direct fax line to the rehab department, so we can help you with that. Just give us a call. What we are doing that is slightly different is we are limiting the number of appointments that we schedule per hour, and we are doing that for a few reasons. One is we have 4 treatment areas that are private if we need to utilize them, and the other is to allow us to have the social distancing we need within the gym when we're using the equipment. Often we will need to use similar equipment, and we have spaced the equipment out so that we can maintain the distance that we need during the services. We also need to look at keeping the number of people in the gym to a minimum amount of 10 or less. So that is another reason for only having 4 appointments at a time. I would hope that you all understand as things change, we will look at being able to increase that, but for right now, that is what we need to do to be as safe as possible. With that being said, that does mean that when you have an appointment time, if you do need to change it, we will do our best, but if there is not a spot available later in the day, we may not be able to make that change. The residents that are currently being seen by the therapy department in Parsons Health Center will continue to be seen by us in the Parsons Health Center area. We will not make a change with that at this time. When we are able to do that, we'll certainly communicate that more. I also want to make sure that people understand that with the gym opening for appointments, that does not mean that our gym is open for after-hour use. The equipment that is in there is currently not open for after-hour use. If you need to use a new step or equipment, I really recommend that you make an appointment with the Wellness Center at this time. We have changed the process slightly for how you will enter the gym. The door to the gym area is not open. It is closed at this moment. We have set 4 chairs out. 2 of them are next to the restrooms before you enter the rehab department, and the other 2 are in the open area that go out to the courtyard right before you go through the doors to the courtyard. What we are asking is that when you have an appointment, if you come close to your appointment time and wait in one of those areas that are left for you to be seated, the therapist will come out and get you for your appointment. Again, we are trying to minimize how many people are in the gym at one time, and we are trying to be respectful of social distancing, so that is one of the reasons for that change. Once the therapist comes to get you for your appointment, she'll bring you, or he will bring you into the gym and perform a screening with you, and then you can start your session. Just like any other area on campus, you will need to wear your mask down to the therapy department. That is not something that we cannot allow, so you do need to have your mask on for the therapy session. Really, at this point, those are the changes for the rehab department. I will ask for you all to have a little patience with us and all the departments that have planned and made adjustments, because we really will not know what is working best for us until we start operating again. So if you could just give us a little bit of time to work through some of the kinks that we may find with this process, we will do that. But I look forward to seeing some of you all come back and work with a therapist that I know that you have worked with in the past and get you back on your programs that you have been on, okay? If you have any questions for us, feel free to call 5397. We'd be happy to help you. Thank you. Up next is Fun Friday with Anita Atkins.
Good afternoon. Well, Westminster Canterbury always enjoys gathering for music, and we are very excited that starting next month, we are going to have Tunes on Tuesday as a new series. It kicks off on Tuesday at 11 a.m. on the Ellipse. We encourage you to bring your chairs or blankets and come enjoy a casual concert. There will be some chairs outside, or you can also enjoy it from your apartment or out your window. So today I'm going to share a little music with you. I'm going to play a piece by Grieg that I have enjoyed playing for years, and I hope it will bring you a little beauty and peace as we go into the weekend. Up next is David Curtis.
Good afternoon. I'm David Curtis, one of the chaplains here at Westminster Canterbury Richmond. And a programming note from Pastoral Care. This coming Sunday is Pentecost Sunday, the day when Christians celebrate the coming of the Holy Spirit with tongues of flame. It's also the day that we celebrate the birth of the church. This Sunday at 4 p.m., a sermon for every Sunday will feature Judy Kincaid, winner of the 2020 Pentecost Preaching Contest. She's also the pastor of Little Elk Creek Lutheran Church in Menominee, Wisconsin. She tells the story of teaching her 3-year-old son's Sunday school class for Pentecost. She bakes this cake and all of the children sing happy birthday to the church. One of the children, in his excitement, goes home and tells his mom that Santa Claus is going to come to church on his birthday and set everyone's heads on fire. Not quite the Pentecost message. To learn more about Pentecost, please tune in on Sunday at 4 o'clock. And now hear these words from Scripture from Psalm 121. I lift up my eyes to the hills. From where will my help come? My help comes from the Lord who made heaven and earth. He will not let your foot be moved. He who keeps you will not slumber. He who keeps Israel will neither slumber nor sleep. The Lord is your keeper. The Lord is your shade at your right hand. The sun will not strike you by day, nor the moon by night. The Lord will keep you from all evil. He will keep your life. The Lord will keep your going out and your coming in from this time on and forevermore. The word of the Lord. Thanks be to God. And the prayer I offer you this afternoon is known as the Hashkavenu. I hope I pronounced that correctly. It is a nighttime prayer of protection from the Jewish Shabbat service. So let us gather in prayer. Grant, O God, that we lie down in peace and raise us up, our guardian, to life renewed. Spread over us the shelter of your peace. Guide us with your good counsel. For your name's sake, be our help. Shield us and shelter us beneath the shadow of your wings. Defend us against enemies, illness, war, famine, and sorrow. Distance us from wrongdoing. For you, God, watch over us and deliver us. For you, God, are gracious and merciful. Guard our going and coming to life and to peace evermore. And let us say, Amen. To those who are celebrating the arrival of the Sabbath Queen at sundown, I wish you Shabbat Shalom and good Shabbos. Thank you for joining us today, and please join us for our next update on Monday at 3 o'clock.